Math is everywhere. As students, the looming question most students at some stage in their schooling ask is, why do we need maths and where is it actually used? Math has contributed to all aspects of human life. The most common components that have made our world what we know it as today include algebra, trigonometry, and fractions, decimals, and percentages. From an early age, we learn logic. We learn different shapes and rules that help us understand the workings of the world. We use mathematics for building, to solve, and to create. Geometry has many practical uses in everyday life, such as measuring circumference, area, and volume. When you need to build or create something, geometric shapes also play an important role in common recreational activities such as video games, sports, quilting, and food design. Artists use geometry in every work they create. The use of certain shapes show feeling and sound. The geometric arrangement of the primary colors within a pixel varies depending on usage. Algebra is a branch of mathematics dealing with symbols and the rules for manipulating those symbols. In elementary algebra, those symbols represent quantities without fixed values, known as variables. Just as sentences describe relationships between specific words, in algebra, equations describe relationships between variables. Mathematics is used in physical science to calculate the measurements of objects and their characteristics, as well as to show the relationship between different functions and properties. Algebra is used to show relationships before the measured numbers are used for calculations. Higher math is used for complex relationships between properties. Special nomenclature is required to represent these values. Algebra is used everywhere in the adult world. Once you turn 18, you have to get a job to earn money so you can buy food and pay rent. If you don't have money, you aren't going to survive on your own. Some people who can't afford to live resort to getting loans. If you get a loan, you're going to need to be able to work out how much you'll need to pay back. You can work this out using basic algebra. Algebra can also be used in other similar scenarios involving money, such as sale projections and even simpler things like figuring out how much money to pay your employees. A decimal is relating to or denoting a system of numbers and arithmetic based on the number 10, tenth parts and powers of 10. A fraction is a numerical quantity that is not a whole number. A percentage is a number or rate that is expressed as a certain number of parts of something divided into 100. When doing your taxes, you can make the whole process so much easier with a basic understanding of percentages. Take this chart. The chart shows how taxes are calculated by how much you earn by a percentage given to us by the government. For example, say you have an 87,000 gross income. Then that would mean that you'd have to pay a total of 15.1% of your total income in taxes. Using decimals, you'd be able to work out how much money you actually make per year and help you put that into a... Decimals, fractions, and percentages are also used heavily in the sports world. An example of this is in the rise of analytics in basketball and its Premier League in the NBA. Teams that have endorsed statisticians improve dramatically, and it helps them save money. An example of this is the value above replacement stat, which determines how good a player is compared to other players. Trigonometry is found all throughout geometry, as every straight-sided shape may be broken into a collection of triangles. Further still, trigonometry has outstanding intricate relationships to other branches of mathematics, in particular complex numbers, infinite series, logarithms, and calculus. Trigonometry is used in oceanography to calculate the height of tides in oceans. The sine and cosine functions are fundamental to the theory of periodic functions, those that describe the sound and the light waves. Trigonometry is used in architecture to ensure that buildings are built safely. For example, architects have to calculate exact angles of intersection for components of their structure to ensure stability and safety. And that's why math is important. Without maths, many occupations wouldn't exist.